I know I said this in my community post sharing my weekly schedule that I can't believe it's November or about to be November, but like, yo, it's about to be November. Is anybody else feeling like unprepared? I'm like, the holidays are right around the corner. I'm not ready, but I am ready to talk about my most anticipated releases next month. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So excited that you're here. So excited to be filming this video. We've had some sickness in my household and I feel pretty haggard today, honestly, and a little bit sleep deprived, but man, I finished the Shoujo release calendar for November. It's gonna be coming out this Friday, so please stay tuned. I'm very, very excited. It's really surreal to me because when I looked at my pre-order list compared to the Shoujo release calendar, I thought, well, when I was making it, I should say, I was like, oh, there's not really going to be that many releases happening next month, but no. But it's very awkward for me for this video because I only have 5 pre-orders for next month. Yes, I only have 5, and I did have 6, but one of them got pushed back to January, and that's Baroness Goes on Strike. Very, very bummed that got pushed back, but I'm thankful that the publisher gave us an update so we know what to expect. But yeah, now I'm just down to my 5 releases. They're also my most anticipated releases, so I guess we'll just go ahead and dive right in. These are in no certain order, though I will be honest and say that the last one I'm featuring, that is my #1 most anticipated release for November. So that one I could say does stand. I'm most excited for that one. But yeah, going ahead, jumping right into volume 1, I'm going to say volume 4 of The Two Perfect Saint. I just recently read volume 3. I picked it up sort of on a whim at the bookstore when I was selling some manga that I meant to sell over the summer and finally did. And I saw that they had it and I was like, you know what? Let's come back to this because I love volume 1. I have a first impression. It was awesome. Volume 2 was still good, but I was a little bit unsure of this, what looked like a revenge kind of plot, despite that I was invested in this because the sisterhood, sister relationship is so very good. It's so fresh when there's so many titles, it feels like, especially in shoujo manga, where one sister hates the other sister, berates her, puts her down, and then we have this Cinderella-like story. Now, I don't have an issue with those stories. I'm just saying it's very nice to have 2 sisters who dearly love each other and care for each other. So when I read volume 3, I was like, I am invested or back invested in the story, and I just pre-ordered volume 4 this morning, or I think it was yesterday when I was making the release calendar. I'm pretty sure that's when I pre-ordered it because I wanted to read this one first before moving ahead. It has gotten, not that it ever gotten bad, it was never bad. It was just more of like, okay, I have to cut some things due to budget, and this is one series that I decided to put on hold. And even though I had thought about sort of unhauling it, just due to me having that problem of like, I can't just keep random series on my shelf and be like, oh, maybe I'll come back to it later. It's more like, oh, I have to keep pre-ordering this. Yeah, I can't do that. I don't have that kind of self-control, okay? All that to say, I'm very, very curious and interested of where volume 4 is going to go because where this volume ended, we have a very determined Mia, who is this sister here, very determined, she's already had this resolution of what she's going to do considering things that happen with her older sister. She already had this stuff in mind, but now she has made this choice and she has a plan, and I'm like, girl, I'm ready to see that plan put in action, even though I miss the older sister having the focus because I really, really do love her. I'm blanking on her name right now, but she is fantastic. So I'm very excited to see where volume 4 goes. I hope that I continue to feel deeply engaged and excited. I hope that as much as I do like Mia and I'm excited to see what she's going to do, I truly hope she won't get quite all of the focus. Like I did feel she did quite a bit in this volume. And I also thought it interesting, hopefully, that this manga will be long because at the end, I believe it's the artist who mentioned that the manga is moving very slow, that we're still in volume 1, which does actually feel slow considering if we're about to be on volume 4 and we have not covered the fullness of volume 1 of the light novel, which seems to be, I don't know, like 3 to 4 volumes for one single light novel volume. Hopefully I said that right and not really weird there. But yeah, I feel like typically that 3 to 4 volumes is when we're wrapping up volume 1. So to know that it's still ongoing in the sense of we're just on light novel volume 1, like, okay, like I don't have an issue with that. I mean, I love seeing for the Shoujo release calendar, volume 4 of the light novel is releasing in November, and I loved the spoiler that we got because of the cover. I said, yes, I'm here for this, I'm on board. So I'm like, artists, take your time. I don't mind. Let's just see what happens, and hopefully these sisters will be reunited and continue to have this beautiful, strong relationship despite all of the messy things that are happening because of this horrible second prince. Not the one that the big sister's in. I'm talking about her home country, like that man. Get him off the page. We don't want him. For number 2, probably one of the very few angsty series that I continue to read and deeply enjoy, and that's Reliving My Life with a Boyfriend Who Doesn't Remember Me, volume 5 is going to be releasing, and I love this cover so much. I think it's my favorite cover thus far that we have. It's just so beautiful, and whew, the feelings we're feeling though, well, I mean, I have a video review on the first 3 volumes, first 4. I can't remember if I covered volume 4 or not, but I know definitely for the first 3 volumes. I was prepared for volume 3 to be full of angst, and it was not. It made me laugh a whole bunch, but I was reading the blurb for volume 5, and I said, okay, I was like, good things are happening. Oriana, our female lead, she has gotten sort of like a wish fulfilled based off of what has happened at the end of this volume. It was really sweet, very precious, and I was like, yes, I'm so excited. But then, not about our main, let's say our main couple, our main leads here, Vincent and Oriana, but a side character, 2 of them. And I said, oh, wait a second, am I reading this right? In fact, I had to read the blurb twice to see if I was reading it correct, because I said, no, and no. I want to anticipate that the next volume is going to be as fun as this one is. I mean, yes, it's still the angst, but it wasn't an overdrive. And I worry that maybe for our leads, we're not going to have that angst. I hope, I need Oriana to have the best of moments, despite the people been spoiling the latest manga chapter. I don't appreciate that. Please, politely, mark that it's a spoiler. Don't just share it. And then we look at it and we're like, what is this? And we're like, oh, this is what it is. And we don't want to see it. So anyway, moving on. I digress. No ranting here. But Oriana's having this beautiful thing happen. And I think that thing is going to be great and precious in volume 5. But what about the other 2? What about the other 2 characters that were brought up in the blurb of volume 5? I'm like, are they not gonna have as good of a time? Like, I'm scared. I'm worried because I really like these 2 side characters, and I don't know. I mean, there was a little something angsty, not a little something, it was very angsty actually involving those characters in this volume, and I don't like that seems to be a foreshadowing of what's to come. So to be determined how my emotional state will be after I read the next volume, though I'm really excited. I'm really nervously excited. I think there will be some genuinely really great moments. I'm looking forward to this ball that's going to be happening. It's going to be great. I know it is. It's just the blur presenting this new problem. I don't know what's going to happen there. I genuinely don't know. And that's the part that has me a little bit worried and a little bit anxious of how should I prepare myself of what is to come. But I truly hope for every character, all parties involved, that it will be a good thing and that nobody has their heart broken in the process. Like, please, don't do that to my heart. Don't do that to the character's heart. I guess we'll wait out and see what happens though. Unfortunately for number 3, I'm not really going to talk much about this because it got pushed back, it got delayed, and that is DNN Angel Volume 1. Now, I just had a short a few days ago talking about, I hope that this lives up to the hype of everybody who has sold me on this, but I mentioned it quite a bit in my previous video of releases I'm excited for that are coming out in October. So I don't really feel I should talk a lot about this one, even though I'm like, man, I would have waited, and I didn't. I think there was even a comment, I'm slowly catching up and reconnecting with everybody, that mentioned that for them in Amazon Canada, or Canada Amazon, however you want to say that it showed the release date of November. So I think even though Yum Press, their calendar said October, I think it just got pushed back, and I didn't double check on other book retailer websites to confirm that is the actual release date. So if you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on this and why I'm excited, why I'm looking forward to it, definitely check out that video. I am really excited though. I'm going to be starting my buddy read. Actually, as of this video going live, I plan to start my buddy read with my friend Tweak at Beneath the Tangles. He's already read it and I was planning to read it over this past weekend, but unfortunately since my daughter got sick, we did our yearly winter clothes shopping for my kiddos, and then the next day when we came back home, but then the next day my daughter got really sick and I was like, I've been pretty tired because she's been up in the middle of the night very sick. Thankfully, she's feeling a lot better. I'm very, very, very thankful. But yeah, so I haven't started yet. I don't have any thoughts. I wish I did, but hopefully here very soon. I am desperately hoping to do a first impression video. Now, it will not go live until my 25 Days of Shoujo manga because I still need to do my review of Not So Wicked Stepmom. For whatever reason, November seems sort of like there's not as many Fridays and it feels very compacted. So I didn't have time to put another first impression or to put a first impression video in there. So just know my thoughts are coming eventually after I read. I'll keep you guys posted and I truly hope I enjoy it. For number 4, I am very excited for the next volume of this because I've deeply enjoyed it. I feel it's underrated, but this past volume was so good, and that was I Want to Be a Receptionist in This Magical World, Volume 7. Now, I'm not really sure if I'm looking forward to any specific event happening in Volume 7, but Volume 6, I felt like we had some progress with the romance. I have no doubts it's going to go on the back burner again in Volume 7. No doubts in my mind. But there was such a cute scene or scenes, chapters between these two that I just couldn't get enough of it. And I've actually come back and reread this volume just for those sweet moments that happen in this. And I know that the next volume is going to be opening or going to be featuring a new tournament, magical tournament that's happening. When I was reading the blurb, I could have sworn our female lead, Nunley, I thought that she was going to be competing against Rockman. This would follow the trend of the series because they're so competitive. These two are so overwhelmingly competitive. But how it seems like she's just going to be working and she's not going to be involved in this tournament. And I have some mixed feelings on that because the highlight of this series is seeing Nunley get so upset with Rockman. I mean, it's very obvious at this point that Rockman definitely has feelings for Nunley, and it's pretty obvious as well that Nunley, as much as she's in denial of her feelings for Rockman, she's got feelings for him. She can't picture herself with anybody else. I know she can't picture herself with anybody else. Like, girl, just admit it. You're not losing if you admit to him that you care for him. But I feel like that's going to be a long journey before we get to that point and Nunley can realize it. So I'm just here for all the shenanigans in the meantime, which makes me hopeful, maybe, because I don't want to say disappointed because I haven't read the next volume yet, but I'm hoping that it does have where they do compete in this tournament and see how things go with them as adults compared to how it was when they were in school growing up together at this magical academy and how they competed back then. But when I also read the blurb, there seems to be another power, force, something at play that's going after Nunley again, I think. And I'm a little bit worried because I feel anything that's happened to her with other parties that are not human, that it's usually pretty bad news. I mean, thankfully, I wouldn't say she's a damsel in distress because she's definitely not, and I do appreciate that about her because she is so stubborn and I wouldn't say prideful, but she does take pride in her magical abilities, and I think rightfully so that she should. But at the same time, it's just like when she finds these moments in these situations, she does need somebody to come help her to, I guess you could say, just escape the situation, even if she is fully more than capable. Because I feel like the last arc we had where we had this third party that was involved with a giant fish, that I really liked that one. I think it was before that though, the way she was able to more or less stop what was happening to her was really incredible. And people commented that majority of people cannot do what Nunley is doing in those kind of stressful moments. So I love that. That's actually one of my favorite scenes as well, of seeing how hard Nunley has worked to be the receptionist she is today and how OP that she is with her magical abilities. I mean, she's maybe not the strongest magical person in this series, but she is at the top of her class for a reason. Just Rockman also happens to be there and they just happen to butt heads all the time, mainly because he just likes teasing her and she always has a reaction to what he's saying, usually in a negative way, and also where she needs to prove him wrong and be better than him. So if you sort of like that kind of, I guess, romantic shenanigans, you might like this. Again, I feel it's super underrated, but I feel like it's a really fun series. I think a friend of mine read the light novel and didn't quite enjoy it as much, so I'm hoping that the manga does not take a turn in that, because I would be so sad. I mean, we're getting 7 volumes deep. We've seen a whole bunch of different things that have taken place that have been really exciting, really scary, and really engaging all at the same time. It's just the romance is not going at the pace I want, but I have a fun time, and that's why I'm looking forward to the next volume. And last but not least, to nobody's surprise, my most anticipated release of November is Volume 8 of Villains Are Destined to Die. I love this cover so much. It is so beautiful. I don't even fully know what to say about this because no, I have not read ahead on Tapas, but I follow spoilers very, very closely. So I do know that this volume specifically is going to break my heart. I'm going to be crushed. And I am like ready and not ready all at the same time because I'm going to need Volume 9 to comfort my heart. And there ain't no Volume 9 available for pre-order. In fact, I don't even think Volume 9 exists in Korea yet, but I'm going to hang in there because I was rereading some of Volume 7 and I was like, we have one of the best moments in the series with Callisto. So good. On cloud 9, just for Eccles to bring me down to my knees in devastation, in anger and sadness. And it's like, what the heck are you doing, man? What are you doing? The devastation was real. I did not reread those pages because I knew I would be absolutely crushed. And I know that's just the beginning for this arc that we're about to enter. I'm ready and not ready. Like, I was thinking about what would I say for this part of the video. The only thing I could think of is Penelope stands. We need to have a meeting, and I volunteered to bring us tissues for the meeting because I have a very overwhelmingly strong feeling that we're going to need it, that I'm going to need it. I love Penelope. She's my all-time favorite best girl. I love her dearly, and that's why I'm like, I'm scared to know where Volume 8 is going to end. And if it ends where I think it might end, you can best believe I'm going to be reading ahead to comfort my heart because spoilers are not going to be enough for how that volume might end. I believe it's going to have some beautiful moments. I'm going to say and claim that it is because the way Penelope dresses, the way she looks, beautiful. Stunning. At what cost, though? At what cost? At what cost must I say Penelope looking beautiful? She's always beautiful, but especially in this scene, though, or this arc, she is very, very beautiful. I think that's about all I can say. Just, I guess if you've read ahead, send me virtual hugs, please. Because I'm gonna need it. I know I'm gonna need it. And I just like, oh, buddy. But I'm excited that it's coming. I know good things are in store because thankfully I keep up with spoilers. It's just this volume. It is, I believe it's gonna be a really hard one, especially when I was rereading the blurb. But yeah, Volume 8. I'm hesitantly ready. I'm hesitantly ready, and I'm definitely gonna need some tissues on hand because if I felt that I was gonna cry at the end of Volume 7, I have no doubts my heart is gonna be again devastated in Volume 8. But anything for my best girl Penelope and her happiness, that's all I want for her. That's all I want for her. And obviously I want a lot of happy things for many series here, including, you know, reliving my life with a boyfriend doesn't remember me, Oriana. Yes, can all of these heroes, heroines, can they all just have happy lives, please? Please, so I would love to hear from you, friends, or any of my most anticipated releases here. Are they on yours? Let me know. Are you reading any of these? Again, stay tuned for the big release calendar on Friday. I also have a fun game for you guys that I'm very excited about. Hope you look forward to it. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!